Hey, hi guys, welcome to Bits and Bytes. Today I'll tell you about most popular applications that you can use on Linux on for your everyday productivity, entertainment, and professional work. All of these softwares are either open source or free to use, or they have some free versions available. So there is no cost or no subscription I'm suggesting as of now. So to start with, for office products, I use LibreOffice. LibreOffice is a complete office suite which has LibreOffice Calc, which is a replacement for Excel. LibreOffice Impress, which is a replacement for Microsoft PowerPoint, and LibreOffice Writer, which is a replacement for Microsoft Word. Now, LibreOffice is a very old. It's 10 years, since 10 years I think it's in development, and it is a very feature rich open office uh, alternative. Office alternative. So you can basically do everything what you do in Microsoft Office. Almost everything. I'll not say everything. And it serves the purpose of writing of the Microsoft Word. The next thing is, you can use only Office. That is also a Office suite, but the only Office is USP is it is very closer in look and feel with Microsoft Office. So you can see, this is very similar in in its layouts is completely similar with the Microsoft Office. So if you are very used to uh, with Microsoft Office, then you can find only Office a better solution. But both of these, LibreOffice and OnlyOffice, both can you know handle Microsoft's file types like docx or xlx or pptx. So there should not be any compatibility issue unless there is any proprietary functions of Microsoft Office in your document. But most of the documents or Excel or PowerPoint presentation should be worked. You should work on both LibreOffice and OnlyOffice. Next, for internet browsing, I personally use Mozilla Firefox. It is a very good feature-rich internet browser. But if you want something on Google Chrome based, then you can use Brave browser also. Brave is a very popular browser nowadays because it has inbuilt ad blocker, and it provides Tor you know Tor connectivity in built in. You can connect to the Tor network with the Brave browser without any issue. So it is very, in nowadays it is a little bit popular. You can use that, but I personally use Mozilla. I am happy with that, and I find it very good. Then, for multimedia player, I use VLC. So VLC is based in its class. There is no competition of VLC as of now, at least to me. It can play all type of videos, and all type of codecs are supported by VLC. uh, but if you want something else, if you want to try something, so I suggest MPP. There is a multimedia player, MPP. uh, it has some unique features, like you can script MPP, and you can automate something like you can also run any videos on terminal with MPP. So it has some cool features you can try. I would suggest if you want something instead of VLC, but the VLC is my first choice. Then for audio playing, I use Audacious. It's a kind of a Winamp player. Uh, if you see, I mean, just a minute. Oh, yeah, so let me change the interface. Okay, yeah. So this is Audacious. It is very good, minimal, simple audio player. I like it. It is very good. You can try it. For video recording, I use OBS Studio. It is by far the best one. I mean, I have found, and most people like it, and they use it. I also like it, and OBS Studio is my first choice. For video editing, I use Kdenlive. So this is a very simple video editor in Linux, and you can use it if you want. If you are working on any video project. This is a very simple one. I mean, not you know very complex like Adobe Premiere Pro or the DaVinci Resolve, but you can definitely use it for simple projects. Talking about the Vinci Resolve, Vinci Resolve is available on Linux. If you want, you can try that. Vinci Resolve has a free version that you can use for your small work activities. But if you are a professional and if you want a professional editor, then Vinci Resolve has a studio edition that you can try on Linux also. It is fully supported on Linux. So you can try that. Next, for graphics editor or for graphics design or digital artwork, there are quite famous softwares like GIMP or GIMP, whatever you say. Uh, then you have Inkscape, you have Krita, you have Blender. So GIMP is basically, you know, alternative of Photoshop. You can do whatever you do in Photoshop, you can do it in GIMP also. For example, you want to edit a photo or you want to manipulate some photo, you can do it on GIMP without any issues. I mean, that is it is a very good open source softwares. Then you have Inkscape. Inkscape is basically an alternative of Adobe Illustrator. So it is for vector graphics. If you want to create some cool vector graphics, you can use Inkscape. And I tried Inkscape. I made my logo for this bits and bytes in Inkscape. I mean, I created that logo. It is very helpful. I mean, easy to learn and very simple compared to Adobe Illustrator. So I'll say that you can definitely try that. It is very fun. Well, Krita is something for raster graphic. So Inkscape is for vector graphics and Krita is for raster graphic. So if you want to do some digital artwork or you want to make some cool digital painting, you can use Krita. Uh, but I'll say that to get full potentiality of Krita, it is good if you have a stylus or let's say some kind of digital pen like Apple pen or Samsung pen kind of things. So, for example, if you install Krita on those in your iPad, and uh, you can make some cool you know digital art. But yeah, to inform you, Krita is available on Linux, so you can try that on your Linux desktop also. Then, if you want to work on any 3D modeling, you have Blender. Blender is currently it's industry standard, you can say. Blender is a perfect example of a professional open source software, and it has lots of cool features, like you can create a 3D model, you can animate them, you can do some video editing in Blender, you can do some audio editing in Blender. So Blender has its own ecosystem. You can try that if you want any 3D, you know, user modeling or 3D modeling. You can definitely try Blender. For audio processing, uh, I use Audacity and Ardor. Both are very good audio editor. You can record, you can edit, you can give effects on both Audacity and Ardor. Uh, Audacity is a little, simple to use tool, but Ardor is a very feature-rich, digital audio workstation. So uh, if you want to learn, or if you are a professional audio professional, then I would suggest to check YouTube. There is a YouTube channel called Anfa. I'll give that link in the description. This That guy actually you know do lots of audio related work on open source and Linux platform. So the YouTube channel, I mean, Onfa, he's dedicated to audio processing in Linux with open source tools. I would suggest you to check his channel, subscribe him, and you can learn very cool, audio projects. He is very good, in audio processing. I'll give the link in description below. If you use any specific software that is not available on Linux and you definitely need it in Linux, then you have Wine, that can uh, run any Windows software on Linux. Though not all Windows softwares are supported by Wine, there are some softwares that doesn't run at all with Wine. But there are a very huge number of softwares, Windows softwares, that you can run on Wine. Wine is basically a translator. It translates the instruction with Windows instruction with the Linux compatibility, and it's kind of a compatibility layer, and it helps you to run your Windows softwares on Linux. But again, not all softwares supported by Wine. If you want to check if your favorite software is supported by Wine, you can go to this link, winehq.org, and there you will get the app DB. In this FDV, you can find whether your software is supported by Wine or not. There are the platinum list, the gold list, the silver list. So platinum list means all these softwares are uh, supported. Best supported. There is no issues found. The code list is also application that work flawlessly with some special configuration you need to do. For platinum list, you do not need to do any special configuration. It is out of the box support. But for silver list, you have applications with minor issues. These applications doesn't run you know as expected. But you can work with it and you can try it. There you might face some little minor issues, but definitely you can try that. So yeah, go to the Wine HQ and check whether your application is supported on Linux with Wine or not. Well, then for gaming on Linux, you definitely need to install Steam. Steam is supported on Linux, and there are lots of games which is available for Linux platform. So one of my earlier video, I showed you that I played a Counter Strike with Steam in Linux platform, in this Manjaro platform, and it was very good. I am satisfied with that, with the performance and everything. I mean, it's very good. So you definitely need to install Steam for all these Steam games. But those games which are not available on Steam and which are not available on Linux also, those Windows game you can try to play with Wine also. Uh, some of the games are very compatible with Wine, supported by Wine, so they should be. You can play them flawlessly, but some of the games not. So again, you need to check in Wine HQ whether your favorite game is supported or not. Now, to use Wine, that is a little bit tricky. Wine is not, it is not, you know, new friendly to new users, new Linux users. So to configure Wine, you need to do lots of things. Lots of configuration is needed in Wine. To simplify that, you have some softwares like Play on Linux and Lutris. So here is, let me show you. I have Lutris installed. I think I also had Play on Linux installed. Yeah, I have Play on Linux installed. So these two software you can use to configure Wine, and it is a very user friendly. It has very user friendly graphical user interface, so it can help you to install your favorite Linux favorite games on Linux. But both of Lutris and Play on Linux, they use Wine as a underlying software. Without Wine, you cannot run any Windows software in Linux. Okay, if you are a developer, so you can use VS Code or VS Codium as a code development IDE. Uh, Also, all the coding language or interpreter or compilers, whatever you use, let's say C++, Java, Python, Rust, Perl, everything is supported on Linux. So you should not face any issue on that. But for the IDE part, I prefer VS Codium or VS Code. Both are VS Codium is basically VS Code, but without the Microsoft. VS Code is owned by Microsoft. VS Codium is open source code. So you can use both of them. Both are very good. I mean, apart from that, you can install NetBeans on Linux through Snap. I think you can install Sublime Text if you know like. I mean, if you are habituated with those softwares. But I like VS Code. It is perfect for me. So yeah, these are my favorite softwares. Let me know if you already use any of these. If you are new to Linux, you should check these softwares out. I hope you won't be disappointed. Anyway, thank you guys. If you find this video helpful, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Please comment and let me know what is your favorite software in Linux. I would definitely try that if I haven't already. Thank you guys. Take care. Bye bye.